Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense.
Sort of.
But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a 1-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're lost on Lost.
Welcome, everybody, to Lost on Lost. I am Adam Busher, joined as always by the stalwart JP Russell.
Hello.
Today we are talking about And Found, the 5th episode of Season 2 and the 30th episode overall. Our centric characters are Jin-Soo Kwon and Sun Kwon. And Found takes place on the 47th day after the crash of Oceanic 815. JP.
Adam.
You got a recap for us?
I do.
Hit it.
On the island, Jin and Mr. Echo go on a journey to find Michael, even though they should just let the fucking jungle eat his ass, while Sun fails the Bechdel test and spends all of her time expressing the emotional turmoil of Jin being gone. We get a glimpse of how Sun and Jin first met. Sun used to date the world's most boring man who moonlights as the world's biggest shithead, and that's saying a lot because we've met Sawyer. Will the others find our heroes? Will Michael find his kid whose name I've already forgotten? Will Sun find her ring by midnight? If she doesn't, she's considered single, fellas. And will Goodwin survive? Find out on this episode of Lost on Lost. This week, we have a guest, much like other weeks.
Like every week so far.
This week, we have a very special guest. Please welcome to the show, Kim.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, Kim.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at that recap.
Kim, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? A little bit of background. Kim, as many of our guests on this show, are alumni from UW Oshkosh. Kim, you were an actor.
Yes, I have a Bachelor of Science in Theater Arts.
And how's that working out for you now?
Very well, yes. And now I use it as a firefighter. So all of me makes a lot of sense.
So when someone's like bleeding out, you can act like they're going to be okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Good. You would do great on the
I can
island.
act like I'm not panicking and sweating. Yeah.
Are you a fan of Lost? Did you watch Lost in its original run?
I did part of it. So I feel like I got caught up somewhere during the writer's strike, ? And then finished out the season live. Is that accurate? Adam, you would know.
That sounds about right. You probably watched the DVDs through the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then, started watching live sometime around season 4.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
So, beyond Lost, what other kind of TV do you like to watch? Lost has been out the air now for the better part of a decade. So, what have you done to fill the media consumption
To fill
since?
10 years of show watching?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. More recently, I guess, okay, so Game of Thrones, but that happened kind of a while ago. Although I feel very similarly watching Game of Thrones as I did watching Lost, which I didn't realize until I watched the episode today. And all of the emotions came flooding back.
So, some of our guests have rewatched Lost in the interim between it going off the
why?
air and now. You haven't
purpose?
seen anything since it went off the air?
No, I would not do that to myself. It was painful enough the first time. I don't mean that in like a bad way necessarily, but I'm not going to rewatch Game of Thrones either. It was just, it's like you're too invested.
I got a hot
That's
take
too much
here.
for
Lost
me.
is better than Game of Thrones, so...
I mean, sure, it could be. I don't know. It's all taste. Do you know what show I like?
Yes,
the best?
that's what I was...
Yeah.
Better than both of them? Schitt's Creek, man. That's my jam.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I keep hearing a lot of good things.
I had to embarrassingly admit to Adam that there's a show on Netflix that is very clearly geared toward 14-year-old girls. I'm 32, by the way, and I love this show. I could not stop watching it. I go to bed at like 8:30 because I'm an old lady, and I stayed up till 11:30 watching this show. It's called Julie and the Phantoms, and it's about a girl in high school who starts a band with a bunch of dead guys. So it's pretty good.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Kim. We're going to let you go, and we're going to finish up the rest of this episode by ourselves.
Umbrella Academy. Do you feel better about that one? I like that one, too.
Umbrella Academy is very entertaining.
I feel like I've redeemed myself a little bit.
Everybody likes... I mean, we're doing a show about arguably one of the dumbest shows to ever be on television, so, like...
Oh, and I'm waiting for The Mandalorian.
Yet.
I'm waiting for The Mandalorian. Although by this time this airs, it's already been out. We'll probably have season 3.
Yeah.
So cool. So that's our guest, and she's going to be joining us to chat about And Found. And Found originally aired on October 19th, 2005.
Yikes.
It was written by Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof and directed by Stephen Williams. Carlton Cuse, you may know the name from The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. He was the co-creator of that. Damon Lindelof, you may recognize from his work as a story editor on Nash Bridges. And Stephen Williams, you may recognize his name. He directed 4 episodes of Sci Factor Chronicles of the Paranormal back in 1998 and 1999. So a couple of heavy hitters here behind the camera for this episode. These 3 guys are 3 of the guys behind the stick on Lost. Like, they were on the show beginning to end, basically. So this is another instance of that showing. This is not the first time that we've had this trio together for an episode. I think just a few episodes ago, we did an episode with Carlton, Damon, and Steven. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Saeed episode where we had Josh on for our guest. Yep. So,
well, and here we go with another banger episode with some really good character stuff going on where I'm like... Yeah, I want to watch some more of this. Let's go. Right? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, this was... It opens up with this gorgeous shot on the beach of...
Except for Claire.
That's funny you say that, because that was my first thought. I was like, oh, Claire.
No, we hate Claire on the show, Kim. We hate Claire on the show.
What's this wee shit?
This opening shot of Sun and Claire on the beach, and the sun is up in the blue sky, and I was just like, one of the last movies I saw in the theater back in the before times was Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and I was like, this is the opening to a French art women-loving women film, and I'm ready to watch it. Like, I didn't remember what this episode, the rest of it was, but I was like, if this is an episode that I forgot about, where Sun and Claire just go off on like a little romantic rendezvous and learn about each other, I'm ready for it. I'm here. I'm ready. Like, the music, it was gorgeous.
And I will say, I think Sun is probably the most attractive female on the show.
Yeah.
Our constant male gaze on Sun has been validated, JP, because we have a woman saying that Sun is attractive.
Well, and
now.
Okay, but
she's
also
gorgeous.
I think that they're just without a doubt the most attractive couple on the island because hot gin, let me tell you, easy on the eyes.
And like you mentioned in your recap, the wedding ring is gone. That's the big jumping off point. Sun's wedding ring is missing, and I mean that's a bummer. Like, I've never been married.
I mean, that's a lot of sand
but
to
I
dig
feel like
through.
if I lost my wedding ring, I'd be bummed out. Here's the thing: we still don't know a ton about Sun and Jin's relationship. Granted, this is a season 2 episode. Hypothetically, we should, but we don't.
It's almost like watching the show out of order is a dumb idea.
So we don't know a ton about their history. We don't know. We're still learning a lot about Sun and Jin, but it's clear to at least from the beginning of the episode that she's very distraught about this. So the bond must be strong.
I was going to ask, just so that we're all on sort of the same playing field here. Have either of you lost a piece of jewelry that meant something to you, or like some sort of totem that meant a lot that you lost?
The closest I think that I would ever have gone is when I was a little guy, I had a little miniature teddy bear that I took everywhere when I was, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 or something like that. And like little everywhere. I'd play with it in the house, outside, wherever I'd take it out. And one day it was gone, and like I was distraught.
Yeah, you were 17 and your dad said enough is enough and he threw it out.
Or what? Yeah, that maybe too. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I did. Okay. There was something I lost.
Kim?
Yeah, actually, so I was on set. I was doing background work because I was hungry. That's how it works in LA. And there was a wedding scene, and I was a wedding guest, and I had on my grandma's. My grandmother had just recently passed away, and I wasn't able to go to the funeral. And so I had on one of her rings that my mom gave me. It was an opal ring, and opal is very soft. for those of you who don't know. And we were chatting. I was chatting with the rest of the background people on break, and I looked down and I noticed the opal was missing from the ring.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And I was like, no, that's going to be impossible to find. It's not even the whole ring. It's just the opal. But one of the background actors, he was a total jackass, but to his credit, he helped me out. So it was a redeeming moment. We actually found the opal.
What?
Yeah, so I still have it. They're not together in the ring anymore. I haven't gotten it fixed, but it was like on the floor near the chair that I was sitting in at the wedding.
That's
in the
as
show.
Improbable as finding a ring in sand.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I lost a stainless steel thumb ring while swimming. It was from Hot Topic, if that's going to tell you anything about what I was like in high school. And it was one where the outside spun. I'm still not hung up on it, not at all.
The original
no, sirree,
fidget
Bob.
spinner. The OG fidget spinner. Why was it so important to you?
Because
Listen,
JP
when
is fresh as hell, and how is he supposed to let people know that if
when
that
you
ring
get
is
a
missing?
thumb ring that fits just right, let me tell you, Kim, I'll forget what the feeling of holding my own child will feel like someday, but I will not forget the feeling of that thumb ring.
Oh, man.
Anyways, Son lost a ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we jump into the flashbacks. So, like, this is one of those episodes where the flashbacks don't necessarily inform the behavior of the present day timeline. It's just backstory.
Yeah.
It's not like a running parallel type of thing like we've seen in the past where, like in Everybody Hates Hugo, where the flashback storyline is basically a version of what was happening in the present. Like,
Right.
this
It's telling you why a character is acting a certain way.
Yeah, this is just like, this is what happened. Like, so we go back in Korea. Sun is with her mother, and she's getting ready to go meet a matchmaker because she's single and she's
Woo. No, Kim.
No,
not
hold
woo.
up. Hold up, though.
No.
I so want a matchmaker. So you asked me what TV shows I like to watch, and I actually just recently binged Indian matchmaking on Netflix.
No, Kim. No. Topple the patriarchy. Come on.
I'm so thoroughly fascinated. Well, it's changed. It has changed matchmaking.
the end result's still the same.
Yeah, you don't gotta fucking swipe right anymore. Shit.
Just meet a stranger in a bar and be miserable like everyone else.
I can't go to bars.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing. Mrs. Kwan is helping her get ready for this thing, picking out the shoes, picking out the whatever. But then she says to her,
Best line in the whole episode, by the
"You
way.
should have met a man in college, but you didn't. And so now 4 years later, you're silver." And I'm like, 4 years. So she's 26. She's 26 and she's on the way out. If you know, I was
silver.
flabbergasted. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Also, if you want to meet a man in college, don't major in art history.
You're gonna see a lot of marble sculptures, though.
All the
men.
fucking hot dudes are in the medieval Russian literature department, obviously.
Don't
Have you
even
seen
fucking get me
Michelangelo?
started on that piece of shit.
Well, I'll get you started on it just in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So, okay. She says something about bronze, too. Like, dude, okay, what comes after bronze? Because I'm like, what? I mean, as far as the anniversaries go, right? They do the anniversary thing, right? What am I, like, candy wrapper? Like,
Crushed Doritos.
I crushed Dorito age.
We also cut to, at the same time period, Jin is dressing up for a job interview. And he does that classic broke as fuck thing where he leaves the tag on the tie. And he's like, I gotta bring this back. And it's just like,
I've never actually done that.
me neither. And like, I've been like poor, like basically my whole life. And I've never put on something and be like, no, I'll just return it. But that's also because I'm never like buying, I'm so poor
what
that I
Goodwill.
never needed fancy clothes, I guess. It's like, I'm not, hey, don't take that 4-pack of black Hanes t-shirts out of the bag. I gotta return those to Target tomorrow after I wear one of them. But his little buddy, oh man, I had to look it up because they don't say his name in the
Tai Su.
Yeah, Tai Su, his roommate, is reading the Destiny book, and he's just like, "Love will be orange, man," and it's very like a very Zen thing to say and hear. And,
Yeah.
And Jin's for it, man. Jin is like, I love this scene because Jin is like really happy-go-lucky at this moment. He's, despite the fact that he has humble beginnings compared to like Sun, like he still seems pretty happy. Like he's not, there's an element of sadness there when he talks about, I'm not just a guy from a fishing village anymore or whatever. But he's like, I'm going out to get a job. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna find a lady. Like, I got my buddy Tai Su here. Like, everything's gravy. And I dug that.
Even though, like, we might look down on the idea of like a doorman or something like that as like, oh, that's not like a highly skilled job, but it's like for him it's honest work. I'm not trying to dunk on doormen out there. Fuck, I'd probably get fired on the first day if I were put in charge of that kind of stuff. Being polite and knowing people's names and like decorum, dude, no way.
It's hard.
Yeah, but for him, it's like, no, this is like a big deal for me. So like he's taking some pride in something that might be trivial to other folks, but he's like, no, this is gonna be my thing, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the fact that she's got a matchmaker and he's got like this destiny book? Why do we not have I don't have access to any of this stuff. I need to get to there.
Korea has an actual culture, whereas America has the television show Lost.
I mean, touche.
I really dug that scene. I don't know you guys, but
that's cute.
It shows us a couple of different things. Like, not that anybody should be using Lost as like a learning tool about cultures of the world or whatever, but like you get to see, if you're unaware of, like, people from different places are brought up differently and have different worlds. Like how Jin and Sun, like where they came from and how their culture informs their lives, like their stances on relationships and loyalty and class and.
Right.
All that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool. From there, we cut to the tailies. I don't think that we've officially learned that. I guess we did. It's one of the podcast episodes. We found out that these folks, Ana Lucia, Echo Bernard, they're from the tail section of Oceanic 815. I think we covered it in maybe Two for the Road a few weeks ago.
Something like that. Yeah. Like
we talked about it.
Yeah, they were in the pit, and Ana Lucia was being a real jerk.
Oh, gee, what do you mean? She was being a jerk? I could never see her being a jerk because she's always so nice.
Which one is Ana Lucia again?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah. Michelle Rodriguez. She doesn't play another. That's why I get confused. She doesn't have a character name. She just is Michelle Rodriguez.
That's literally the conversation we had in that episode.
The first one that she was in, we were like, fucking Michelle Rodriguez playing Michelle Rodriguez.
How did you find your Fast and Furious costume on that airplane?
Right? Oh, low-cut jeans and a tank top? Wow.
Where'd you get the cut-off vest, yo?
Ana Lucia is gonna take Jin and Sawyer and Michael back to the beach, but they gotta like get supplied up. They're gonna get food and water and whatever. It comes up during this whole her trying to organize this little trip that the tailies are like really tense and really paranoid. Like they have a level of fear in them that does not exist with our main beach survivors.
During when they're in their hatch or bunker, whatever it is, Sawyer says something to the effect of, it looks like they're going to eat us, which I said that I got some big cannibalism vibes from those folks, either in the Kevin episode or the James episode. So, hey, co-host of Trailer Hitch, I'm dunking on both you right now. I'm putting y'all on blast. You need to be more aware of cannibalism vibes.
That skinny one, though, yeah, she looked like she was ready to eat some human.
It was probably the Kevin episode, looking back at our old schedule, because he did Everybody Hates Hugo, which was chronologically the episode right before this one.
Oh yeah, it's been a few weeks since we recorded.
Exactly. So. We've actually, JP and I have actually seen the episode that came before this one, just like 2 months ago.
Yeah, whatever.
But Sawyer makes that joke. I think they're gonna eat us, and I wanted them to cut back to the tailies and like look at, like, the tailies are looking at them and just like rubbing their hands together and licking their lips, like.
Well, they got a big pot of boiling water in the corner.
just cutting carrots into it.
Comically huge chef's hat.
The thing, okay, so like they're having their own little sidebar conversation while the tailies are having a sidebar conversation. Sawyer waits to get outside when they are standing around everyone to say, "Hey, I think we should do a prison break. I'm like, dude, they're standing right behind you. You didn't want to have this conversation when they were huddled up and you were huddled up. You're deciding, oh yeah, now I'm going to talk about the escape plan. Yeah, now that they're right behind me, 3 feet behind me.
I don't know what he thinks he's going to do either, because he's still shot or stabbed or something. His arm.
He's injured.
Yeah, he can barely move his left arm.
Kim, what would you do to triage that in a jungle situation?
To triage it or to treat it?
Fucking whatever. Yes, either or. Dealer's choice.
In a jungle situation, and it's Sawyer.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nah, it's all right. Just let him. Just bleed it out. It's fine. I don't know. Everybody's got some alcohol around. How many people have been stabbed at this point? That was Jack and his 5,000 little airplane shooters of tequila. Get your little tequila out, and I don't know. It depends how bad it is. I didn't really see what happened. I don't know. He just he's injured shot beforehand. Or stabbed or something.
What happened to him. He's hurt. He's shot or stabbed because Sawyer's shooting and stabbing bait. I'm going to take a bullet from Michelle Rodriguez and I'm going to put the gunpowder in the wound and we're going to light that shit on fire. Oh, shit.
That's brutal.
That's fucking dark, Kim. Damn.
Wasn't that in the Revenant? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
With the bear?
Yeah. That shit was dark too. Like literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Anyway. So they go out to start getting supplies.
Yeah, there's a very quick instance of Ana Lucia continuing to be a cow to anybody she sees. Specifically Jin in the tide pool where she's like, there's something we're picking up here. Jin can fish like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he can.
And obviously Ana Lucia doesn't know this. And if you don't know, now you know. Because like, he just the net, and he pulls in 3 red snapper, just like no problem.
Okay, but like, how do you not trust a guy who can like barely speak English, but he knows fish and he's like, fish? Yeah.
Right, like it's the one word in English he knows, and you're like...
Yeah, you're like, nah, dude, okay, I'm going to trust him.
Right. We talk about this in some other episodes. They're doing the thing that I hate with television characters where there's some sort of danger, there's some sort of information that people need to know, and someone is withholding it for no reason.
Yes.
Like... There's the danger of the others, but our main party members don't understand that. They don't understand the severity of it. They don't understand sort of the rules of like avoiding the others or whatever the potential threat is. And, it has to be learned through experience. It's like, no, take 5 minutes before you go outside and explain what's going on.
Right. Like, how much time would be saved by Bernard or Echo or Ana Lucia or any of them just being like, okay, so here's why we're so tense. Originally, there were 90 of us here, and now there's 4 left. They killed 86 people in the course of 2.5 weeks. Like, that's why we're afraid. And then
is that
what
happened?
No, I don't know what happened, but like, they could say that.
I was like, I don't remember that.
Let's say this show gets fucking brutal.
Well, I think in Everybody Hates Hugo, they did say that
there were at least 5.
When they originally, right after the crash, they were like 20 something and now they're 4 or something like that. So like they obviously, but they could explain that to them, and then Sawyer and Jin and Michael would be like, oh fuck, okay. Yeah. Do you have any extra weapons? We'll help you not get kidnapped.
Michael might be like, oh, maybe I won't run off into the fucking woods by myself.
Yeah.
Nah, he probably would have anyway, though.
Fucking probably.
I definitely forgot who they were. Like, I forgot they were a thing, and I know the answer, but I still don't remember that.
They are them who are called they.
Wow, that was helpful. Thanks for cleaning that
up. I made this note after the fact. I don't know where it fits in the timeline of the show, but there was we cut back to the main beach, and Sun is rifling through her shit looking for her ring, and Dr. Wang walks up. He's actually like moderately helpful for like a few this is Jack's only scene in the episode, which is
thank God
fine. Yeah,
we've had a lot of Jack heavy episodes recently.
Yeah, but he walks in and he's like, well, when's the last time you saw it? Dude, I fucking hate that. When's the last time you saw it? If I knew that, Wang, I'd have found it by now. Shit.
I put down as a note for this scene, if only Jack had put as much effort into his marriage that he did trying to hide the loss of his ring from his wife.
Right? Oh.
I know, I was so sad here. I wrote down, is Jack not married to Julie Bowen anymore?
No. She got wise and she left Jack, and now she's married to me in the future or the past.
He's got plenty of problems. Jack's got a lot of problems.
Well, she lost her rings. He lost his sleeves. She should have just been like, well, where's the last place you saw your sleeves there, Doc?
So Jack, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Doc.
Jack off.
The flashback, Jin is interviewing to work at the Seoul Gateway Hotel. I feel like I say this a lot, but this guy's a dick to Jin. People are dicks to everybody all the time in this show. He rips the tag off of his tie, and he's just like, yeah, you can have this job, but don't ever let anybody in this hotel that's as broke as you. And
do not open the door for people like you. I have that in my notes too, and I was like, yikes, wow.
Yeah, like again, I mean, this just speaks to the maturity level of Jin the character. But if that would me, I would be like, actually, I have to go interview at Not a Dick Hotel. Thanks for seeing me. Like.
I mean, he could have just done like the Groucho Marx thing and been like, I'd never be the member of a club that would have me as a member.
Right.
Just one of those, just kind of like, and then he'd have like a fake cigar and it would like blow up in the guy's mouth or in his face. And this would be a very different show.
Yeah. I made one, the backdrop behind the dude's window could not be
as fake
more
as
of a backdrop.
Oh, I was not even paying attention. Now I want to go back and watch it. That's funny.
Like, after I got the gist of it, I was like, okay, this guy is a dick to Jin. And then I just, like, looked over his shoulder and I was like, man, that's a really shitty backdrop of Seoul's skyline.
Also, so when he's talking to him and he's like, you got the job or whatever, again, like I'm watching this on streaming, so like, you don't get the quality that you would if it was on a disc, but like, again, the entire shot of Jin just sitting there looking at him in like the close-up appeared to me to just straight up be out of focus, and he's not like moving around, he didn't like have to sit into a mark, just out of focus. Now, could it have been like a bandwidth thing? Sure, but I want somebody who's listening to this podcast to watch that scene and let me know if I'm correct or not.
I can't wait till we get a huge like following on this show and somebody mails you like the Blu-ray Lost, the complete series. You can start watching on that and be like, oh shit, this whole show is out of focus.
No, I'll find out it's been out of focus. It's been my terrible internet connection this whole time.
They're going to be like, no, we did that on purpose. We want you to feel as out of focus as Jin does in this scene.
Ooh.
It's very meta.
So Jin gets the job. Nice.
Nice.
We go back to the tailies. Michael and Libby are looking for food.
Tailies.
We get a little bit... What?
Really quick, before they break up, does Sawyer call Jin Chewy?
He does.
I have that note too. Why does he call him Chewy?
Because in Star Wars, we, the audience, can understand Han, but we can't understand Chewie. It's a racist or xenophobic nickname, which is Sawyer's forte, for a man who can only speak Korean.
I thought it was like a...
I mean, like
it's co-pilot kind of joke.
It's playfully racist because, like, he does consider Jin to be his buddy,
racist.
But like he has to still be like, "Hey, you're not like me." It's not great. My question about that nickname is who is Han in this situation?
Yeah.
If Jin's Chewie, who's Han? Does Sawyer think he's Han?
Sawyer thinks he is fucking Han.
Obviously, Sawyer thinks he's Han. He thinks he's a cowboy. Like, he thinks he's a space cowboy.
Yeah.
Does that make the polar bear Greedo? Because Sawyer shot first? Oh my god, is this all just a fucking Star Wars allegory?
I forgot about the polar bears. Did they ever answer the polar bears?
All right, anyway, sorry, I just had to clarify that I was understanding the really bad Star Wars reference.
That is 100% worth bringing up because, Sawyer's racist in this scene.
In this scene, there's more racism to come.
It's a good thing he works out all of his racism on somebody he knows, because then he goes face to face with Echo, which is probably the first black guy that he's ever seen in his life, and he restrains himself from doing anything like terribly over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And Walt.
So the second black guy he's ever seen in his whole life.
Third. Walt as a kid, I don't know.
Yeah.
He does some Asian racism, so he doesn't do any black racism, which is, I don't know. I don't know.
Good, because as we learned, Mr. Echo will fuck you up.
That's true. But like every time, like I didn't even put this in my notes. I'm just thinking about it now. Like every time Sawyer does something fucking bigoted, like in basically every scene, like I think about it, like the show was, this was 2005. Like how did Sawyer become like a popular character? Like people should have just constantly hated this guy every time he opened his mouth, and like by the end of the show, he was like one of the most popular characters by the end of the show.
Because he changes and you learn things about him.
I suppose, but
plus Juliet,
Yeah.
Or because America's got a lot of fucking racists, and
that too.
They dig that sort of thing.
But you put a strong female character behind him or next to him, and then they're like, oh, we love her, and she loves him, so I think we love him. It's confusing as a viewer.
Sawyer sucks.
Oh yeah.
So Sawyer meets Echo for the first time, and this is the first time like that we actually get Echo's name. Like, my name. He's like, I'm Mr. Echo, and I'm like, Mr. Echo. And he's like, yeah, fucking Mr. Echo. Like, if I like, he comes back, he's like, what, like Mr. Ed, and like Echo should have been like, my name's Mr. Echo. I'm the cool. That's the coolest name out of everybody so far.
Also, like, why was Mr. Ed a joke to him? That's so stupid.
Yeah. It actually, and JP, this is a good opportunity for me to apologize for when I made a Mr. Ed joke back in episode 2 and you didn't laugh at it. I realized that when Sawyer makes this Mr. Ed joke here, it's just not funny. And so, I apologize for that.
Your jokes are bad and you should feel bad.
What were you making a Mr. Ed joke about?
I don't fucking remember that at all.
It keeps me up at night.
I don't remember the last episode. So.
This scene sort of wraps, like, Libby, played by Cynthia Watros, who's one of my favorite actresses. She was on the sitcom on Fox called Titus that ran for 3 seasons. She and Michael are looking for mangoes, and they're like, oh, the mangoes are all picked over. But, like, she's like, I know about fear. I'm worried about they. And, and this is, we get some more reinforcement of the they, the feet, the unnamed fear or whatever. We all know that it's the others, whatever. But then Echo and Michael fucking bails at some point. Just like, it cuts away from the two of them collecting mangoes, cuts back to Sawyer being a racist, and then Libby just is like back and is like, oh hey, I'm back from not finding mangoes, Michael's gone.
It wasn't even important enough to have it happen like on screen. They're just like, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
the jungle swallowed him up.
They're like, we don't know how to explain how he gets away from this tiny, imagine malnourished female.
Imagine the scene if the mango scene continues to go. Like, what inspires Michael to just run off into the jungle?
Chucks a mushy mango at her.
He's just like, mango bomb, and throws it at the ground and runs away.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, no, we're getting supplies so that we can get back to the beach. We'll be a bigger group. We'll have more resources. We'll have more people to help us. And Michael's just like, nah, I'm going off on my own. But like, I put in my notes, the only reason that Jin is friends with Michael and that he feels this loyalty to go after him is because he doesn't speak the same language and he doesn't understand how fucking stupid Michael is.
Right? Like, if he spoke English and he would have understood what Michael was about the entire first 40 days, he'd be like, well, let that fool run through the jungle. I hope he gets dysentery.
He's so fucking just pouty pants, and I'm just,
pouty pants.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the main beach,
Hurley is also racist. Back at the beach, everybody's racist.
Back at racist beach. Sun's working her way through all of our named characters, having a scene with them. She's slowly disseminating the information that her wedding ring is missing. This is like the lost version of her going and putting flyers on every palm tree. Like, lost one wedding ring. Please help me find it before Jin comes back. God. This little scene with Hurley, and Hurley's doing his best to help. He thinks Vincent ate it, and so they're watching the dog.
He's doing the same thing where he doesn't know, sort of like his interaction with Saeed, like not knowing that he was
in the Republican Guard.
In the Republican Guard, it's like, are you in the good, or are you from the good Korea or the bad Korea? Like,
I thought he was gonna ask her about eating dogs. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought it was going to come up as well, sure. Yeah.
I mean, the way that the earlier parts of the episode is going, that would have fucking tracked.
Like, they're watching the dog, and I thought,
So, I mean...
deleted scenes.
It's, I don't know, like, Hurley's, like, sort of, like, ignorantly, like, his like, latent racism here is not malicious.
He's not doing it on purpose. Ignorant. Yeah.
He's just, he's being unaware, which is... one would argue nowadays just as bad, but I mean, it's hard to be mad at that big dopey face. Like when he tells the story about the dog shitting out all the change, and he just smiles at her. It's like, what are you, 8? Like,
it was pretty funny.
I mean, it's so he's a good dude. He means well.
Did you go to the Olympics?
Did you?
He's just pulling. He's just like, I need any facts that I know
He's like,
about Korea.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Seoul. Okay, I know Seoul. Okay.
Oh God. Yeah. So that scene goes by, and so we flash back to Korea. Sun meets the matchmaker, and we get another instance of the show not actually introducing like we need when we meet a new character, we need to know their name as the audience. They should be like, the matchmaker should be like, oh hi Sun, here's your date, the guy. Like we don't find out the guy's name till the end of the episode. It's Mr. Lee, and here's the thing.
It's irrelevant.
I mean it.
Is it?
It is and it isn't. I mean, in this instance, I don't think it's super relevant. We do see this guy. This guy recurs in some of Sun's flashbacks later on throughout the show.
Really?
He does show up one or two times. The actor's name's Tony Lee, I think.
Sure.
But yeah, he's sort of like a recurring character in Sun and Jin's past life before the
and he's they do a great job of being like, okay, he recognizes that this is a very awkward situation. She is clearly uncomfortable. The parents go away, the matchmaker goes away, and it's like, hey, this is fucking weird, right? And she's like, yeah, this is fucking weird. And they seem to like genuinely hit it off.
Yeah, I thought he was, I thought he was kind of charming. Yeah, he took an awkward situation and
I mean, like he's no Jin, but he was definitely like he was a swipe right for sure. I would not have been mad if my parents were like, hey, we're gonna set you up with this guy. I'd be like, all right, he seems cool.
Yeah, and
we get so far into the episode with the two of them, like, they go out on a date and stuff like that, and I'm like, where the fuck does Jin come in on this? Like, we only got like 10 minutes left in this episode. Where does my man's come in?
Where's the man?
He go get her.
Well, we know where he is at right now. We cut back to the tailies, and Echo and Jin are out looking for Michael. They decided, Jin decided in the previous scene to go. Echo was like, I'm gonna help because I'm fucking bad as hell.
Hell yeah.
And so Jin's out there looking for Mike, and he gets gored by a boar.
Okay, Game of Thrones here. I totally forgot that like Jin is fine, but I saw the boar and instantly.
Fine?
Yes, both.
Like he survives, but he's fine.
Yeah. But like I saw the boar and was like, oh no, that's how the king died. Run.
Okay, Kim, how do you treat somebody that has been gouged by a boar?
It depends where he gets them. Usually it's an evisceration. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
He gored him in the jungle.
Oh my god. Anatomically, where is that?
I don't know.
Is that like the bush, but like worse?
Point on this globe where he got gored. Somebody wasn't fine though. Jin takes a tumble down the hill and finds a guy impaled on a wooden spike.
Oh yeah, man. My main man, Goodwin.
Goodwin. That was Goodwin.
Kim, in your professional medical experience, do you think Goodwin's going to pull through?
With enough epinephrine, it's possible. So I know some people that would definitely try to work him.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Goodwin that I thought about, only ever so briefly though. I was sitting there. That dude hasn't been there super long.
No.
Like, he's not in a state of advanced decomposition. Like,
no.
How recently did that guy die there? And
well, I think they probably dropped the ball on this one because he looked like he still had rigor, which means it was like pretty close to his death.
It was like 10 minutes earlier than that. Like,
yeah, because the rigor would probably be gone by then, honestly.
He's just hard because Jin's around.
Same.
Guys, I'll excuse myself
Whap,
for the rest of the
whap,
episode. I'm done. Okay.
Just take a lap, cool off, come back.
Yeah.
Did you just say take a whap?
Take a lap.
You're welcome.
We cut back to the beach. It's breakdown time for Sun. She's had enough. She's talked to Dr. Dickhead. She talked to Hurley. She looked around. She's at her wit's end and she loses it. She tears up the garden, and this is a moment that we haven't seen much. We haven't seen Sun in this state much at all. Like, she's normally very cool, very collected. She's pretty much about her business, but this is a moment where she's laid bare and vulnerable, and it's a little frustrating that she takes it out on the garden, because like she's letting her emotions get the better of her contributions to the survival of the. But I mean, it's a TV show,
It's fine.
so whatever.
She can put them back in.
But,
They're not out for that long.
Like, I like it because it does it. I just like it because it's a scene where we're getting some vulnerability. We see a moment of vulnerability from Sun, which is just more depth to this person. She's just not the strong female standing behind Jin. You know, she's a whole person. She has, you know, she's allowed to be vulnerable and be broken up when something important to her goes wrong.
And in typical fashion, when someone's broken down, when somebody's hit rock bottom, when somebody has had enough on this goddamn island, who is there to pick up the pieces? Who is there to be the light, the North Star? Who is there to hold this goddamn group of people together? My sweet baby boy, John Locke.
I saw his face and was like, oh, I hate you.
You shut up. I love John Locke more than I love certain family members.
But just seeing that episode again, I was like, oh, he's not that bad. Why did I hate him?
Because this is another instance in which this is JL's only scene, and he does not overstay his welcome. He comes in. He
Bad day.
Yeah, he drops it. He comes in. He comforts her. He does a good thing here. He comes in. He sees that Sun's obviously having a hard time, and he lends an ear, and he has a little bit of wisdom. He opens up himself. You know, what his motivations are. I wasn't concerned what his motivations were. You know, when he sat down to do, like, what is he trying to machine here? What is he trying to do? He's like, I believed in this moment that he was just like, he wanted to make sure that Sun was okay, and so like.
Totally.
He sits down. They have a little discussion about he's got these, you know, latent anger issues in his past, and he's not angry anymore. And he comes through with this little thing. He says,
I used to get angry all the time. Frustrated too.
So you're not frustrated anymore?
I'm not lost anymore.
How did you do that?
Same way anything lost gets found. I stopped looking.
I want to flip the table at that comment. Oh my
Why?
God. I hate when people say that. It's almost as bad as Dr. What's-His-Nuts saying, well, where was the last place you look for it? You'll find it when you stop looking. No,
Well-
that is the opposite of how you find something.
No, because like I think about, like, from what we've seen from John Locke, like he seems to thrive in this environment. He seems to feel more comfortable. I feel like there's obviously something a little bit more nefarious behind that we on this podcast haven't learned about, but in terms of just what we've seen, this is like someone who's always dreamed of like going to Alaska, now lives on the frontier and is like, well, I was never going to do that in my normal life, but now I'm stuck here and oh God, I think this is the type of environment I belong in, you know?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just making up excuses because I love my bald ass man.
No, that's fine. I get it too, like when you stop looking, but I mean, like, that's okay. Just take that with a grain of salt. You can't do that for everything.
No, I think it's like, it's horseshit when you're trying to find your keys. It's a cliche, but like even cliches can be profound at sometimes. And in this moment, I bought it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, for sure.
I think it might be because of what JP said. Is like, out of everybody on the island, most people's lives are markedly worse now being on the island than they were previously, as we're learning through flashbacks and stuff like that. We haven't learned anything about John. We haven't had a flashback with John yet. We don't know what is happening with him, but like, yeah, he's thriving, and so it seems like he might be the only person on the island whose life has taken a turn for the better, having crashed on it. And we don't know why. We don't know how. And it may be nefarious. We don't know. But like for him to come up to Sun and say that to her, I thought it was earnest. And so I was okay with it.
I mean, I would probably, of all of the people on the island, I would probably believe most of the things that come out of his mouth, or believe the things that come out of his mouth the most, I should say. Like I don't know if it's the way he presents himself when he says it.
He's got dad energy. He's got some mega dad energy.
For sure.
Dressed like dad. He looked like a dad. He's probably a dad. He's got 45 kids. I don't know. We flash back to Korea.
This son of a bitch. Oh my fucking god.
Okay, and like this is the fucking moment. This is where my handwritten notes.
I am in all caps.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I did. Like, I didn't realize that I did that when I write. Like, I switched to all capital letters as I was taking notes. Like, I do that when I type. I didn't realize I did it when I write, and I did. Yeah. Lee rocks up to the fucking hotel in some car. I think it was a Mercedes, just like some high-end sports car. Jumps out of the thing. He's all happy-go-lucky, and he meets Jin. Jin's working the door. He pulls out. Jin's doing the work. He comes up. He opens the door for him. He opens the door for him again, and then Lee takes he's like, give me the flower. I have a date. And we're like, okay, he's going in there. He's probably like, is this the moment where fucking Lee's gonna walk in and ask Sun to marry him? Because he seems fucking jazzed. He seems pumped to be here, ready to go. He takes the boutonniere, he goes in, Jin stands outside of the door and just smiles like an idiot, and I love him.
Also, where was his boss to see that moment? Come on, man, that's going above and beyond.
Oh. Yeah.
Lee goes.
Truth.
We cut into the dining room. Lee is telling Sun a story about a time he was naked. It is a cheap, obvious flirting tactic. It's so it's like, and here's a time where my butt was out.
You want to see it?
Wait, hold up. Is that a flirting tactic? Is this a thing?
Kim, if a man ever tells you a story about a time that he was accidentally naked somewhere, he's flirting with you.
That's hilarious and awful. Is this like pre-nudes? This is so funny.
This is the foundation. This is the foundation work that a proper scumbag does for nudes.
They're sending nudes to your mind.
To be fair, though, Kim, how often do you encounter naked people in your line of work?
All the time.
Yeah, and they're doing that to try and get your attention.
So, and you know what? They've got it.
It worked.
Yeah, they've got it. It works it's very effective.
Okay.
It is effective because he as the audience, we're sitting here watching Lee tell this story, and she's digging it. She's like, "Oh, this is such a funny story."
I'd like to see you in a towel.
Yeah, and he's laying it on so thick, and then he's like, we should keep seeing each other. And she's like, hell yes, let's keep seeing each other. You're a fine...
Right, and in this moment, I'm like, where the fuck does Jin come in this episode?
Well, and then it was like, well, the flower is kind of orange. Like, I don't know.
Well, but then here it comes, just like a fucking hammer to all of my, like, whatever goodwill this man had created. He's like, yes, we should keep seeing each other because I want my mom to stop paying attention to me, so in 6 months I can run away to America and marry some other woman. I've been using you this whole time, and how dare you, Mr. Lee? How dare you crush Sun's hopes and dream? Like, in that, I can't even.
He waited until the end of the meal and then was shocked when he was like, oh, you didn't think.
That's the part that gets me. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what did you think she thought? You're on a freaking date. You were literally matched by your parents.
You're telling her the cock in the hallway story.
Why? What did you how could she not think that?
Exactly.
So he's like making the victim.
Exactly.
He's blaming the victim. That's the worst. Fuck. I hate that guy.
Really quick, what are everyone's exact notes for this section? I'm curious.
That's my my final note on this scene is in all caps. After laying it on so thick, he crushes her. Fuck you, Lee. It took up half a page on my notebook. That's how big I wrote it.
I don't have any notes because I remembered it so well, and I was like, oh, I don't need any talking points for this. We'll just go on a riff because I hate that guy.
The bottom half of one sheet of paper is just written "dick move during dessert?" ? And fuck you.
No dessert. She can't have dessert now because she's
emotionally distraught. Like,
Well, she thought she was going to have fucking dessert.
like? I think it's time for you to leave and bring me the chocolate cake. This is on him.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we splitting the check? I don't fucking think so,
Do
but
not fucking think so.
Sure.
Get the fuck.
anyways.
Now they're all fucking lathered up from that. Fuck, man.
Goddamn angry.
That pissed me off so much. Like, I didn't realize how much, like...
That's what dating is, man. See, I guess the matchmaker isn't even as good as... I don't want one anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody could see that coming.
Indian matchmaker talked you into it, and now 3 seconds with Mr. Lee in the Seoul Gateway Hotel talked you out of it.
Yep, right out. Now I want that book, Jin.
Fuck. Yeah, just get the Destiny book from Taisu.
Yeah, I'll just rent it at the library.
Apparently, you need a ruler to use it. Is what I was picking up.
Any straight edge will work.
We cut back to the island. Echo and Jin are still palling together. They find Michael's tracks, and Echo says some spooky shit here. He's just like, they don't leave tracks. It's like, what? Do they not have feet?
Yeah, they don't make noise. Yeah.
But the music, man, the music, when he says all that stuff, I was like, oh.
Overall, the music is really good in this episode.
Yeah.
Not to skip ahead, but the music when Sun is having the flashback, and then it cuts to her in present day on the island, and it cuts to Jin, and it's a lot of really good music in this episode. Very emotional.
I think you could probably say that the one consistent thing throughout the entirety of Lost was probably the music. Michael Giacchino did all the music for the show, and I mean, the guy knows what he's doing, man.
Yeah, super good.
So Echo spooks him out, and they have to duck into a bush, and a pack of others comes wandering past.
Yeah.
If they're so good, how did they not see him in the bush?
They're doing the same thing that Carl Weathers and Bill Duke are doing in Predator, when he's like, out there in them trees, I see you. Fuck, dude. Predator's such a good movie.
This whole scene is really spooky. The music, the setup.
Oh my god, it is.
And then
super creepy.
Just the shot of their POV out through, and then it just sits there for seconds on end, nothing. And then that first foot comes into frame, and it's like, ooh, like I literally got chills.
Silent.
Yeah.
I was waiting to hear the dump truck backing up noise, aka the smoke monster. You don't know? You don't remember that? No. It has a very specific, like, their beep is different than other heavy machinery. And there is one, or maybe it's the snowplow.
There's a weird rattle in the smoke monster too.
There's one very, like, and I remember being in our apartment in Oshkosh when this stuff was all airing. And it must have been the snowplow made the exact same noise, and I was like, "Oh God,
it's the smoke monster."
So I was waiting for the smoke monster to show up.
We flash back to more Jin stuff. Jin is like good at everything he does, like fishing, giving thumbs up, speaking Korean,
not dying from boars.
Yeah, just like taking charges from boars like a champ.
Yeah,
and he's killing working the door. Like he's out here and just like smiling. Yeah. But then he's a good dude, and this is gonna be the thing that bites him. He nice guys finish last and all that. There's a poor looking dude and his kid gonna have an accident. He begs Jin to let him in, and Jin's like, yeah, okay, go on in, make it quick. And then the broke dad and son walk right past his boss, like
right.
Like, I get this is a TV show, but fuck off.
Right. You got so much time to just stand there and watch the doorman 24/7.
Yeah.
But like, what?
Were you just waiting for him
got
to
nothing better to do?
This dude who runs the hotel, he just gets on his fucking case right away. He berates him, he humiliates him, and then he uses the universal "I'm a shitty guy" phrase. He says, "You people."
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, well, just in case the audience at home didn't hate this guy, let's make sure we put a snap on that.
Sawyer would love him.
Oh, yeah. They'd be fucking pals for sure. But then Jin gets an opportunity to tell him to fuck himself very politely.
but not before he like asks Jin to go in and cut him off midstream and like drag him out.
Drag this
But
pissing
here's
kid
the
out
best
of
part too. Like as someone who worked in hospitality, okay, you don't see someone outside of Disney who's like, yo, I would rather have that little kid pissing in the parking lot in front of everybody to see than just like let him in and go to the bathroom where nobody can see. Like, wouldn't you rather have him in the bathroom going to the bathroom than peeing on your front steps? Because that's what he says. Well, he can go piss in the gutter for all I care. And I'm like, yeah, but the gutter is in front of your hotel.
Apparently the Soul Gateway Hotel is not the happiest place on earth.
No, that little kid had mischief in his eyes. He's in there taking an upper decker.
Yeah.
He's
Pee
in
in
there
the
to
tank.
ruin that hotel.
He's up in the penthouse ordering pizza, just like in Home Alone 2. Like,
Nah, this is living.
Jin just like, thanks for the opportunity, sir.
And he takes off the hat and the gloves, but walks away still wearing the jacket.
Yeah. You better keep
Is that just his now?
It's like the icing on the cake of that the fuck you tort that he's handing this guy. It's like, yeah, I'm quitting in front of you because you're a dick, and I'm keeping your dorky ass jacket. I'm gonna go start a My Chemical Romance cover band.
Oh, Jesus.
We come back to the beach. Oh God! So like, Sun's not done telling everybody that the wedding was missing. Like we haven't worked. We still have 19 scenes.
Oh,
we have to
God.
do Kate. We got to do Charlie. We got to do Saeed. We got to do. It's Kate's turn.
Okay, but like,
Skip to the end.
so
Yeah,
so
I mean-
Kate shows up, and instantly I'm like, ugh, it's a Meg scene. And like, okay, serious question though. Did they find their luggage?
There was a bunch of
Yeah,
luggage in the
some of
middle
it.
section. Yeah.
So I mean, just throwing this out there, she packed that? Like, what are you wearing, Kate? Who are you? Who wears that? What?
I'm assuming
You made
that,
a choice to pack that?
I'm assuming that after the pilot where Kate swipes a pair of shoes off of a corpse, I'm assuming from now on she's always wearing dead people's clothes.
Yo,
But they
for
like
sure.
fit her.
Yeah, she found somebody who was her
I mean,
size.
Abby,
Like,
they're too
they
tight,
lined up all the
but-
corpses and they're like, all right, here are the size 7 corpses, here are the size 4 corpses.
Here
Everybody
the
gets
A
a
Just like
number.
a
cup.
fun clothing swap.
Here's this A cup bra. You won't need these D's, Kate.
Wow.
She looks like she does. She looks like a tiny teenage girl from like the 90s, like the 2000s.
Well,
Like with the
Right.
baggy pants and the tight
Exactly.
tank top.
That's
Like
why I'm
she
incredibly
needs-
attracted to her.
She needs a chain on a wallet or chain wallet. What were those things?
Yes.
Yes.
I
And
wish
like
she
a
was wearing a
fucking tech
necktie
vest.
also, just over her
wish-
tank top.
I wish she had
Avril Lavigne.
airwalks.
You guys are describing all of the fan art on my DeviantArt page right now.
You like
But it's all done in
airwalks?
MS Paint, so
Big fan of Tech Fest and Old Navy.
yep.
The only thing important that happens in here is that Sun confesses that Claire found the messages in the bottle.
Oh yeah, what were those? When did they write those? Were
We
they
don't
supposed to be
know
calls
yet.
for help or?
We
The only
don't
thing
know.
that we know, that me and JP know, is that we saw the episode they found the bottle in. We don't know where
Right.
the bottle is from. We can make a couple of assumptions about the bottle. It's attached to Jin and Sawyer and Michael being missing, but we don't know exactly.
And then we find out like there's a thing between Sawyer and Kate, and Son is like,
God,
oh, okay. Woo.
When they started talking about Kate and Sawyer's burgeoning romance, it's just I just heard static in my ears, just like.
Well, okay, so two really quick things about this scene. One, and I'm sure it was something to do with editing, but Kate says, "Let me see that," as she's already grabbing it from Sun, and I'm like, that's some childish shit. And then she just starts ripping the stuff up, and it's like, could you act like a fucking adult for
She was ripping
10
them
minutes?
open, right? She
Oh,
was trying to
open?
read them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause they just roll them
I
up
thought
to
she was
stick 'em in there,
ripping
so I
them
think she was
up.
yeah. I mean, she's still
Okay.
acting like a child, but
All right,
Yeah.
cut that part out.
But I don't understand why because she said she never got to say goodbye,
she
or
was
they never
probably
said
looking
goodbye.
for
She,
a note
she was
from
hoping Sawyer was
or
like,
something.
"Dear
Just
Kate, I love you,"
it's
and
just-
then really Sawyer was like, "Hey, I left a half-eaten jar of maraschino cherries, and
don't fucking eat those.
those are mine."
I left my last 3 grits hidden under a rock. Don't smoke them.
Hurley, you can have my batteries for your Walkman.
Remember me by this puka shell necklace.
The South will rise again. Love Sawyer.
Oh, only if he's looking at Kate. Oh.
Speaking of Sawyer, we cut back to the tailies, and this is another fucking aggravating scene. Sawyer's in fucking rough shape. His injuries doing something to him. So he's got. Here's the thing: even if he weren't stabbed or shot or gored in the shoulder or whatever, like, sit down and take a water break, y'all. Like, I know you guys are scared and stuff, but like, stay hydrated.
Yeah, I mean, we can see the ocean,
break.
Like from the hill they're on.
Yeah, like
they're like
it's a few miles.
They're close
still at the most, like maybe 5-6 miles till you go. Like, chill. You got an injury,
right?
Anna Lucia comes up, talks some shit, sort of talks some shit back, and then he goes, "You married?" And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, it seems like you would be." And then she's like, "What about you? Are you married?" And he goes, "No." And then she's like, "Are you gay?"
Like, but I don't know what's worse though. Like the "Are you gay?" question, or the fact that
it's the
first question you ask is "Are you married?"
Oh, it's because he's just trying to have sex with every female. That's his only conquest on this fucking island.
That was like the first thing that Mr. Echo said to Jin too. I know that Jin is wearing a ring, but like, why is this the first question? We are on an island. Okay, right. Trying to survive. Why the fuck do you care? Right?
He spends an entire episode just trying to get a kiss from Kate. And like the first time it's like kind of just like, okay, you're rough around the edges, but you're trying to be endearing. But then it keeps coming up and it keeps coming up and it's like creepy. And it's just like, dude, will you fucking knock it off? Yeah. Like you're acting
but
like.
Apparently it worked because she's like, oh, I love him.
Right, and then first question, are you married?
Drool.
Yeah. And I was like, this can't get any worse. And then she's like, you gay? And I'm like, oh, it just got fucking worse.
Yeah,
and look who took a bad thing and make it worse. Sawyer made a bad thing and fucking Michelle Rodriguez made it worse. Jesus
They're made for
Christ.
each other.
You know what I want to go back and look at though? When she says, are you gay? Do any of the guys turn around and like, wait for his answer?
Huh?
Yeah, just like,
is he? We haven't found one of those yet.
Well, I think the only dude with him now is Bernard, because Echo's off in the woods.
I think so.
And we know Bernard is married.
Old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because you're married don't mean
That's
nothing.
true. That's fair. I mean,
that's
especially like look at how old he was old, right?
He could be polyamorous. He could be, he could just be looking for a good time. Any of that.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about Bernard.
I'll try anything 14 times.
I didn't make mention of this at the beginning, but we got another name of one of the tailies, Cindy. Cindy is the stewardess from the pilot that hands Jack the extra bottles of booze.
That's why she looks familiar.
Which one is Cindy?
She's the brunette with the short hair, not the blonde who is Libby,
and
not Michelle Rodriguez, who you will probably recognize from Fast and the
There's
Furious.
a hot second where she was just staring at the sun. She's had a bit of a rough go.
She's a little fried. Yeah, she went off with, who did she go off with to go?
Cindy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
When they broke up in a group. Anyway, yeah, okay. I think I briefly remember her. Cindy.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting because she's, as far as I can tell, the only other crew member besides the co-pilot or the pilot or whoever he was who died in the pilot. From 815 that survived. So Cindy, I meant to mention that when we first started the show, but that's whatever. I just didn't want to talk about that fucking scene anymore.
Let's move on from that.
I don't know whatever.
Oh, I've already moved on.
Yeah, we cut to Echo and Jin. They've lost the trail. Echo says he lost the trail, so he's gonna go and find it. So he walks away. 3 seconds later, Michael just pops out of the fucking woods. Like, Echo, are you sure you lost the trail? Because as far as I can tell, his footprints were probably right there.
Yeah.
Maybe he took his shoes off.
Maybe he's an other and he doesn't leave footprints.
Yeah.
Maybe he was walking on his hands.
Whatever Michael's doing, he sucks at it, and we don't care. But he basically just tells Jin to fuck off. He's like, I'm gonna keep looking for Walt. And it's like, okay. Go. We don't.
But then he's like, I'm gonna keep looking, Walt, and he's screaming. How have we not heard him at this point?
Yeah.
Right. Well, he's screaming next to a waterfall, which will muffle all of your sound. So, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which leads to my
As
next
we
question.
found out in The Quiet Place.
What is Michael's searching strategy? Every time we've seen him ever looking for Walt, whether it's on the main beach, whether it's here, whether Walt's just wandered away to play backgammon, or whether he's legit been kidnapped, his strategy is always to wander 10 feet away from the nearest person and just start screaming Walt's name. Is that it?
That's helpful.
Is that the searching strategy? Because...
Whenever I can't find someone's house, that's what I do. I usually just go on the sidewalk and just start screaming their name. It has a pretty high success rate.
So I feel like
maybe there's something to it.
He learned everything he knows from his dog, because that's what they just like go outside and they're like, hey anybody, have you seen anything? Yeah. And why doesn't he take the dog? I feel like you just be like, hey,
the dog probably
Vincent,
hates him
smell
too.
this.
I mean, I hate him. JP hates him. We all hate him. The dog probably hates him.
Do you think Walt is like, phew, I'm not buying
Walt
that
probably
guy
ran away,
anymore?
I mean, we already saw in a couple of episodes, Walt fucking hates him. Like,
He's like, these people, they look way better than that guy.
yeah. We come back to the beach. There was a revelation in the previous scene. The bottle. They cut back to the bottle. Kate's flipping out and digging through this thing and acting like a kid, like JP said. Then they spot the ring in the sand. So the great mystery of Son's wedding ring missing has been solved. For those of you listening to the show that or watching the show with us, if you didn't realize that that's where her wedding ring was, like 10 minutes into the episode, here's the answer.
I mean, I didn't, but that's because I didn't see the episode beforehand.
That's fair.
Can we address the fact that it takes her 3 years to shove that fucking ring back on her finger? How in the hell did it fall off in the first place?
I didn't write that down, but I did notice that she seemed to be struggling to put it on.
I was like, you definitely would have known.
So the present day story is over. We flash back one more time. Jin is walking on the riverside. He's lost his My Chemical Romance jacket. He's lost his tie. He's out here and he's perving the dish. He sees a woman in orange walking toward him and he's like, "What up?" And he turns to stare at her and ogle her, and then he pounds into Sun.
Hold on.
For all you who were asking, where did he come? Where is Jin gonna come in this story?
He wasn't just like, "Oh, that girl fine." It was the dress.
Dress. It's the orange. Right. It's the fact that his orange is what's drawing his eye. No, I'm not saying that he's being a big perv. I'm just making a.
I mean, probably that too.
Yeah, they have this like really genuine moment. My question is like, how does that spark a relationship? Because like, I desperately want to know more. Because like their relationship up until this point in the podcast, especially in like the pilot, it's so tense between them, and there's so much like male female relationships, and even at least from what Jin was saying to his roommate buddy, like he doesn't he says you got to take care of a woman, but like what does he know about that, and she seems to be like, well, I'm gonna entertain this matchmaker thing, but like I don't necessarily believe this in my heart of hearts, right. Sort of these like pre-established gender role things, and they have a very genuine, it wasn't like a pre-arranged marriage or something like that. They met on the street and something happens.
Cute. It's your classic meet cute. They bump into each other and like they're instantly stricken.
That doesn't happen. I bump into things and people all the time.
No,
Kim, you're kind of clumsy.
You never bumped into a coffee table and then instantly wanted to marry the coffee table?
Yeah. I mean, it usually doesn't work out.
Are you and the coffee table still living together though? Like trying to make it work for the end table?
Yeah. I mean, but I have other tables now and a couch.
Whoa.
I know.
A polytablist. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man, so that's it. That's and found. Do you guys have anything else you want to hit on it before we get to the end of the episode segments?
No, like I said, I'm so like this episode made me want to watch more of Sun and Jin. It makes me want to watch more of their relationship and their dynamic.
Yeah,
and
they're the best.
I'm super into them. I love them.
I remember there being so much to take in and so much information and so many questions. And I watched this episode and was just like, Like there's so much going on, so many cuts. Like I feel like nothing happens in this episode.
I mean, yeah, like I feel like the more times an episode cuts from flashback to location to like all that, the more times it does that, the more pages I take up in my notebook. And I took 5 pages of notes in this episode because
we were
cutting from flashback to tailies to flashback to beach to tailies, and then the tailies split up. So we did like 3 different tailie locations, the beach, so yeah, like
and they get back together and then they split up again.
Yeah. This is the worst book ever.
So let's do it then. Let's do the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Did we like it? Did we like And Found? Was this a good episode? What do you think, Kim?
It's an okay episode. I like it solely for the fact that it is Jin and Sun centric. I like learning about them. If we made a whole like show just on their relationship and how it develops and how they got here, I'd watch that.
Yeah.
But
For sure. Adam, did you like it?
Yes, to a point. It was a little disjointed with all the cutting that I just mentioned, but yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as Kim. I've always been a fan of Jin and Sun and their relationship, so the more we know about it and the more we learn about it, the happier I am. What do you think, JP?
Yeah, I didn't mind sort of the disjointedness. I feel like this was the first half of a story. I want the second half.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
it definitely, it kept me engaged the whole time. So yes, I enjoyed it.
Nice. Our next little bit is going to be the Lost MVP. Kim, we do this at the end of every episode. We ask who our favorite character is of the episode. Just this episode, minus context, minus history, minus memory. This 45 minutes. Who was your Lost MVP for the episode And Found?
That orange dress. Winner.
Yeah.
All right.
She was working that thing.
No, without the orange dress, there is no Sun and Jin.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
100% true. Not bad.
Adam, MVP.
I gotta go with this. This is a tandem. I'm going with the Echo and Jin team up.
It's so good.
Just give me the Colossus and Wolverine Cannonball special vibes from them the entire time. Like, I would love to. There are 2 shows I would love to watch. I would love to watch a romantic comedy television show starring Sun and Jin, and I would like to watch an action adventure comedy with Echo and Jin. Solving
Totally.
crimes in Seoul,
sure.
and like just like flying around,
Bringing down the
It's
cartel.
like
Exactly.
way better than Rush Hour.
Oh,
But
so
like
good.
seriously, they had like, because you get the idea that like Echo, that English isn't his first language, and like the little bit of dialogue that they have back and forth, and Jin is still very early into learning English, but they're still able to have a pretty decent conversation because Echo's like taking the time to not just yell at him and say, "I don't speak Korean."
Right?
You know,
Echo's
like
the one person who doesn't do that. Oh, you don't understand my language? Let me try it louder. Like he speaks with his hands, and he latches onto the things that Jin says and builds off of those. Like he actually listens.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me. Echo and Jin, the team up there. JP,
Yeah.
what about you? What's your MVP?
Goodwin for sure.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it.
No, in all seriousness, like I am really liking Echo. I really dig him as a character. For the few episodes we've had interaction with him, I really think he's interesting.
Then the second half of this bit is the Lost Forever. Who in this 45 minutes of the show would you really wish we could have did without? Kim, what do you got to say for your Lost Forever?
Meg in her stupid teenage outfit. Bottle robbing, message stealer, Kate. Get out of here. Purple tank top.
Adam, Lost Forever.
Ana Lucia for continued shitty behavior and also yet again fuck the police. She's so mean. She never we have yet to have a moment of redeeming qualities from Ana Lucia.
Right, even in like her
Even in her
episode,
centric
I know
episode, exactly.
she's still just unbearable.
Yeah, and a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh yeah. Wait, what? Oh man.
You'll have to make sure to
It's all
check out
coming back.
the podcast episode that will have aired 2 months ago. Yeah, fuck on, Lucia. JP, what do you say?
Easily Tai Su. Listen,
What?
I
Hot take alert. Hot take alert.
listen. If for one reason and one reason only. First of all, I prefer indirect light in my house. Like, I understand some people want direct light. His idea of direct light was to have a lamp with no shade on it. Listen, you can have a fixture that has an exposed bulb or has a wire cage around it. I understand, like, foam, industrial, whatever. But to just have a fucking lamp with no lampshade is just goddamn tacky. Try again.
Maybe he wasn't going for faux industrial and maybe going for real broke.
I was just going to say, his roommate has a tag on his tie, okay?
They can't afford a
I'm pretty
lampshade.
sure they don't have a lampshade.
No, you don't get to put this on Jin. No, it's Taisu's
No,
fault.
I'm just saying, they can't afford a lampshade.
Taisu. God. Burning questions. Lost is famous for asking questions and not necessarily answering them. Kim, did you have a question that was raised in this episode that didn't get answered that you hope does get answered sometime in the future?
No, they didn't really raise a whole lot, except like, who are they, right? Obviously, but I'm sure that's been brought up before. But so knowing that we have encountered they before, we didn't really encounter anything new in this episode that I was like, wait, what?
Sure.
Except maybe like, how was their first date? Like, where did he take her? What was it like? How did running into her get him her number?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. How does their relationship spark from there, and then how does it get to be a very sort of like domineering?
It gets dark, man. I remember that much. It gets dark.
No doubt. I had one. I want to know more about Goodwin. I know we will find out more about it and him, but that was my question. Like, who is Goodwin and his role in the others, or the them, the they, whatever. JP, do you have one?
When are they gonna kill off Michael? Because I'm done with him.
Because I'm finished with him.
Fucking
I
done.
don't remember.
He'll be around.
Damn it.
He's gonna be fucking around for a while.
Hate that guy.
Kim, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Yes, thank you.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you. We'd love to have you back sometime in the future. Maybe we'll bring you back for another Jin and Sun episode, or maybe something else will spark your interest. But we'd love to have you back.
Oh, heck yeah. Now I gotta watch more because I saw the title screen pop up and it was like, oh.
Just so filled with nostalgia.
Yeah.
You, the audience at home, are trying to be lost with us. Please check out our next episode. We will be talking about Season 1, Episode 8, Confidence Man.
Ooh. Who's that one about?
That is a Sawyer-centric episode.
Ah, son of a bitch.
So, if you liked our brief exploration of Sawyer's racism in this episode, I'm sure we will probably
Stay tuned.
we'll probably just talk about it some more in our next episode.
Stand by. All right. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Lost on Lost.
I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
Do you have any idea what's going on the show?
Nope.
Me neither. Lost on Lost is produced and edited by Adam Busher and JP Russell.
Recorded on location in Milwaukee, Wisconsin and Los Angeles, California.
Our show is hosted at Podbean. Find us there or wherever you find your podcasts.
Thanks to Danny Schmitz of Lost in a Name for our theme music.
Lostpedia and the community of contributors there.
Random.org for creating the watch order.
Check out our Facebook page, Lost on Lost, or find us on Twitter and Instagram at Lost on Lost 1.
Don't follow those jerks at Lost on Lost 2.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com. If you like what we're getting into here, buy us a coffee at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
That's ko-fi.com/wearelostonlost.